All right, guys, here we go. I wanted to review this Harbor Freight drain cleaner that I picked up from obviously Harbor Freight about a year or two back. I don't know exactly. I probably had it for about 2 years or so. But it is the HydroStar Drain Monster Quick Start 50-foot power feed drain cleaner. Item whatever that is 68284. Reason I want to, I've used this several times, and I see some other videos of guys posting up on this machine on YouTube, and I just want to give an honest review of it. So that way, if you're looking to buy one of these, kind of give you a heads up of what it is and what it isn't. Number one, this machine was about 250 bucks at Harbor Freight, maybe 260. I caught it on sale. You cannot use the coupon, the 20% coupon, if the thing is marked down to about 260 bucks. That's as low as you're going to buy it. That's for starters. Second, it's a good machine, but if you have roots in your sewer line, a 4-inch line, I mean, if you have a few loose roots or thin roots, this will probably work. It's worked for that, for light duty roots in your sewer. If you have deep, thick roots in your sewer, this thing is not going to work, okay? So let me repeat that. If you got grease, toilet paper stuck, or something like that in your 4-inch line, no problem. This thing's going to get rid of the clog. But if you have deep roots or kind of heavy root intrusion into your pipe, this is not the machine that's going to do the job for you, okay? Don't listen to anybody else telling you that, yeah, this is good for roots and it's as good as all the other professional type of equipment machines. It is not. It is a well-made machine. I haven't had any problems with it, but I've run into some issues where it basically was not powerful enough to get through some good root intrusion. It's got a pretty thick cable, but it's got a good cutter head. You do have a little kind of storage space here for your little tools. Okay, never really used this grease cleaner tool. I never really used a spade, but I did use this one, and I used this cutter tool. I'll throw them on the ground, okay? So this cutter tool, I used this on a pretty heavy root problem that I had in the sewer here. As you could tell, I snapped the shit out of one of these cutters. I only used one cutter because I knew I had a pretty good root problem, and I didn't want to use both of those cutters because I was afraid I was going to get the cable stuck in the sewer and cause further problems for me, okay? Well, even with one cutter, I got the thing stuck in the sewer. Had to go back and forth, back and forth. On here, you have a forward selection button and also a reverse selection button. Now that you can see it's on the off position, so you see forward and reverse. The manual says you are not to use the reverse feature on a regular basis. You're only to use it in an emergency purpose situation. I did. I was able to get the line unstuck and get it back out of the sewer, but wasn't able to unclog the sewer on heavy root intrusion. Okay. As far as the machine goes, again, the cart is awesome. The machine, the motor, and the foot pedal are awesome. This is a little pressure switch here that they have. When I first got it, the fitting where this hose goes into the actual pressure switch was a little loose, so this pressure switch would deflate. Okay, took it out, cleaned it up, put it back in. Haven't had a problem with it since. If you're getting one of these machines and you want to get it because, like I want to try to unclog my sewer before I have to call somebody who's an actual professional, right? Luckily, I got a friend who does this stuff for a living, and if I get in a jam like I did, I could just call him and he comes over. But if you want to get one of these machines, I highly, highly recommend that you get one with this auto feed function. This, in my opinion, is the only way to go. You got to have this function if you're going to have this type of machine. It's probably going to cost you a few dollars more, but it's worth it. I've never used a rigid version of this machine, but I've seen them in action, and it seems like the rigid version of this type of machine might be a little bit bigger, is definitely a better quality cable from what I've seen, and I think it also spins a little bit faster. Okay, so again, it's a $260 machine. You get what you pay for. It's going to work for certain clogs. It's not going to work for roots. Just keep that in mind. Light roots, no problem. Heavy roots, you know, worst case scenario, you're going to get the thing stuck in there. You're going to have to call, obviously, a sewer guy, and then he's going to have to retrieve this cable, or worse, you know, you got to dig up your lawn or whatever to retrieve this cable and replace the pipe, right? So, but for $260, if you do it yourselfer, I think it's a great machine. You know, but it has its limitations. That's it. That's really the best way I could put it. And really, when you're comparing this machine to the cheaper version that they have, where it might be like $60 cheaper or something like that, I mean, this thing has a very well-built cart, you know? Excellent wheels. You can move this thing around, no problem. And it has that auto feed function. Again, if you're going to get this machine, get the auto feed version with the cart. That's the way to go. That's my review. That's a no BS review. Again, I've used this thing plenty of times. It's worked. But don't let anyone bullshit you and tell you that this thing is going to work on heavy roots. It's not.